Beautiful.
Hey.
Hey,
Tay.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
It's me and Pete from Andertons TV.
Pete and I.
To tell you about something rather interesting and exciting. And that is a new brand of guitar that we've started selling called EastCoast, which none of you will know much about, which is fair enough. But here's the story. Here's the story, Pete.
Here's the story.
Is that East Coast?
East Coast.
Yes.
All right, hang on.
So over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been sort of gradually watching the price of the sort of entry-level guitars that Anderton sells through brands like Squire and Yamaha and Ibanez and stuff like that, kind of creeping upwards as the prices of everything do. And I've seen more and more mass merchants like Amazon and Argos and even other big mail-order musical instrument retailers just buying unbranded or unknown brands of guitars, electric guitars, and just selling them super cheap, and kind of feeling like the guitars that we were selling had sort of lost touch a bit price wise. So where the price gap all of a sudden, where it used to be like 10 or 20 pounds extra to buy the branded one, now it's like 50 or 100 pounds extra, and I'm sort of thinking that's a lot. So earlier this year, we thought we really ought to try and do something or find something to sell, whether it's own brand or not own brand or whatever, to try and hit some more better value prices really. So anyway, the culmination of probably the last 6 or 7 months of finding different factories in the Far East that we want to work with, and finding guitars that can consistently be made to a quality, and also a factory that are interested in, if we have constructive criticisms about features or whatever, that they'll take those on board and they'll address them. And anyway, I'm very pleased to say that the culmination of all that is this range of guitars under the brand EastCoast. You can see a selection behind us that start from £99.
£99.
£99 for the
this
one that Pete's playing. Everything that you can see behind us, all of which will have their own individual videos, like short form videos done, and you'll find links for that in the description below. Nothing that you see here, I think, is dearer than £250. So there's a whole load of guitars at like £100, £120, £150, There's even, and we'll plug this in a bit as well, there's even a little amplifier. And there's a story behind that as well, because one of my biggest bugbears are the really crappy amps that you can buy. So the little amp with reverb, everything, and you'll be able to get bundles of like that kind of guitar with this amp and some accessories for like $149. So good. I'm kind of excited, and again, part of this journey that we went on over the last 7 or 8 months, 6, 7 months, was buying all the guitars that you could get, online for 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah,
whatever.
and there's loads of those, aren't there?
There are a lot.
And I get a lot of my friends that they have children. They goes, oh, I need a guitar. I'm just going to go on Amazon and get some, or Argos and buy the 69 quid one. And I go, please don't do that.
Well, and
because it's not intonated properly and it's not set up.
So the experience that I had was some of the guitars were badly fretted and the bridge was in the wrong position.
Yeah, it was all sharp frets and you can't intonate.
And that's almost a shame because that means right from day one, you can't even, you'll tune the open strings to be in tune and every chord you play will be out of tune. So that's frustrating. Then we found other ones and we went, you know what, the actual build quality of the guitar's okay.
Yeah.
But because nobody in the UK, if you're buying it from a mass merchant, nobody in the UK gets them out the box and goes, right, let's just give this the adjustment. So what you end up with is a guitar that's actually okay, but is unplayable until you do all those adjustments.
Yeah, but who knows how to do that?
And if you don't know what you're doing and you have to take it to a store to get it, next thing you know, you've got a bill for 40, 50 pounds. So all of a sudden, this affordable guitar isn't that affordable anymore. Yeah. And again, I think probably some of the worst stuff that we found were where I found these £99 guitar and amp packages.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're giving your kids, assuming you're buying it for kids, you're giving them just no chance.
Yeah.
It's like the guitars play dreadful. The amp is about 2 or 3 inches thick with some jam jar kind of speaker. I mean, it's just...
Tiny little speaker in them.
So my little crusade was to sort of go, look, how good can we get this stuff down to a certain price, below which I have to say my professional recommendation to you is don't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm really pleased. I think the other thing that I felt was really, really important. We've managed to price all these guitars, including being set up by our own QC guys.
Okay.
So, hundreds and hundreds of guitars will arrive that have all been on a boat for the last 5 or 6 weeks. And of course, as something's been on a boat, different humidity and temperature conditions will inevitably mean that things, perhaps move from the factory.
Yeah.
But, our really experienced QC guys, so the same QC guys that will be setting up, Gibsons and PRS guitars and all that kind of stuff.
Thousands of pounds worth of guitars.
They will spend 20 minutes, half an hour on each one of these, making sure that the neck is good, intonation is good.
Pickup height is good.
Yeah. So when you get it, your first guitar, assuming this is going to be your first guitar, you can just give it a quick tune up, start playing straight away. So you're hearing this through amps. I know in previous Andertons videos, we often get criticised of taking affordable guitars and putting them through thousands of pounds worth of amplifiers. So Pete's got a Boss Katana 50. Yep. I've got a Fender Champion 50. Both these amps retail for between sort of £150 and £200. So
yeah, under £200, absolutely.
They're, all the effects that you're hearing are all that come from the amp. I'm really, honestly, really pleased. So, lastly, now as I said, we've been jamming around during this video on a couple of amplifiers that are probably a little step up from what you get as your first amplifier. But again, in the spirit of East Coast, I wanted to try and, we needed to find something affordable, but again, whilst avoiding the real tutty stuff. So let's plug Pete into the East Coast.
The Tutty McGee.
You're just going to hear the sort of the general microphones in the room rather than close miking these, because it's always difficult to get a good sound by sticking a mic right in front of something terribly small. And so you got reverb built in, which was the most important thing, because I think if there's one thing on a small amplifier that really does That's you.
Yeah, it's me. I'm on.
If there's one thing on a small amplifier that really helps disguise the fact that it's small, it is a bit of reverb. And there's some distortion built in here as well. And it's 10 watts. So realistically, at 10 watts, this is exactly the kind of amp that all of us started off on.
Yeah.
And it's just about loud enough to go around to your mate's house and turn it up and have a crazy jam with them.
Or not to wake your parents in the middle of the night
Definitely.
if you want to have a jam.
It's got a headphone socket built into it, so if you are worried about how much noise someone's going to make with this, you can just get them some headphones and then it cuts out the speaker. Anyway, a couple of different sounds. Here is a clean sound. You going to stay with that guitar? You like that?
What do you think?
Or do you want to go? Do you know what? I tell you what. Go back to the silver one.
Okay. Good old
Or the
silver.
red one. It's up to you, because this is the one package that I already know is going to be $149. The other guitars will be packaged with this and they'll be a little bit dearer. But this,
There's John.
Imagine yourself with one of these guitars in a colour of your choice, this little amplifier and some accessories bundled in for about £150.
Yes.
Great start in your guitar playing life. Here we go.
This is a G chord. I think that's where we start. Oh, it's even cranking up there.
Do you know what?
Hey!
It's
back
so...
pick up.
It's not that difficult to get the amp to sound okay. It's just a shame when you see, for cost purposes, the cabinet is shrunk down, so it's only that. You've got no bass end at all comes out the amplifier. Whereas, this is, and this isn't
too bad.
This isn't trying to be funky or clever or digital modeling or anything. It's just good old fashioned guitar amp, tried and tested technology, and it sounds all right to me.
It sounds all right. That's a good little practice thing for home.
If I engage the boost button, we get some gain. Again, these amps have a sort of a tendency, or I say these amps, this type of amplifier, it's only a solid state distortion chip in there. It's not going to sound as good as if you perhaps buy a dedicated little distortion pedal or something, but it's okay. So here we go with some ganache.
Okay, yeah. So you go. Here's an E chord. On the back pickup. Yeah, but that's, it's...
Honestly, well, and again, you can take my word for it if you want to. This sounds a heck of a lot better than the little amps that came in the £99 packages that we bought from elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
I can
Also
tell you
those little little clip-on amplifiers you can buy. It doesn't sound anything like this. Is great. This is great for home. I would probably not even use the overdrive in this. I would just I've got a pedal.
Yeah, let's go back to so if you did decide to get into the world of buying pedals, which every guitar player aspires to have lots of pedals. And again, there are some amazingly affordable guitar pedals on the Andertons website. Prices start from £30 or £40. So again, do go watch those videos. If you're getting this for Christmas and your granny or your auntie says, what can I get you? Maybe you want to grab a pedal as well. But yeah, so this is what it sounds like if we just go with pedal distortion.
I don't mind this guitar, man. It's pretty nice, actually. The neck is it's nice and it's nice. There's some guitar there. I like it.
You heard it here first.
It reminds me of a guitar in the same colour, actually, this neck. Like very 60s. Okay, we go. There's it. Is that an F sharp or is it an F?
It's free UK delivery on everything.
Okay.
If you do live in Europe and you fancy one of these, again, it's pretty affordable for us to ship this stuff into Europe. It'll tell you in the checkout, and I very much doubt we'll get orders from further afield than that. But if you do, there's no CITES problems, so there's no restrictions around us sending this. It'll just be that shipping a guitar is quite an expensive shipping charge if you live in Australia or something. So you'll probably find it costs as much to ship the guitar as it does to buy it. So I wouldn't suggest doing this if you live somewhere like that. But there you go.
I like these.
I knew.
It's very Clapton-y. Or very Robert Cray.
Yeah, or John Mayer, or any of those people.
Yeah.
Anyway,
or Mick Taylor, for that matter.
So there we go. Look, if maybe this is the first time you've seen a video on this channel because your guitar teacher or something has told you to check these out. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe. There's tons and tons of stuff on this channel for guitar players. Everything from kind of £99 up to £9,999. It's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And
that's a video we should do. We should compare this with
a Silver Sky.
With a Silver Sky.
Controversial.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
is it?
I've been the Captain.
I was Danish Pete.
And please, if you want to see more of this wonderful man playing these guitars, look in the description below and knock yourself out. Anyway, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Peace.